I know you clicked this video because you love Windows, but I just quickly want to make the case that you should also love something else. Yourself. Merry Christmas. Microsoft has revealed that in order to keep receiving Windows 10 security updates after the OS loses official support in October 2025, Windows 10 users will have to pay the price. The blood of their firstborn. Nah, it's $30. Per year, though. That's pretty bad. Microsoft first announced their extended security updates would be available to non-business users back in 2023, but they finally got more specific at the very bottom of a very long blog post about how the best way to deal with Windows 10 losing support is actually to upgrade to Windows 11.
What?
Solves the problem. But for a lot of people, that probably requires buying a new PC, a device that, infamously, generally costs significantly more than $30. Per year, though. However, you could avoid paying if you're a business and you already pay to access a Windows 10 PC through Microsoft's cloud PC service, Windows 365, which starts at around $30 per user per month anyway. If Redmond's tactics are working on you and you're finally considering the switch to Windows 11, at least recall got delayed again, so that's good. If you can swing the $30 per year though, take note that you can only do that for 3 years after October 2025. Well, that's plenty of time to learn how to use Linux.
New Linux, Riley.
It'll probably take you that long too.
New Linux.
Benchmarks for Apple's recently revealed M4 Pro and M4 Max processors are trickling onto the Geekbench database, and when I say trickling, I mean gushing. We're talking gushers here, flavor slam!
Taste skadoosh.
Because the M4 Max, presumably tested in one of the new MacBook Pros, is getting multi-core scores over 26,000, beating Intel and AMD's top-end mainstream desktop CPUs. The M4 Pro, meanwhile, a step down from the M4 Max, is scoring around 22,000, which is higher than Apple's own M2 Ultra.
And even higher than the participants of MK Ultra.
That means the new Mac Mini, which is just a couple inches chunkier than the Apple TV box, is faster than the much chunkier Mac Pro and Mac Studio, which have not yet received their M4 upgrades, for reasons they know full well. But the most powerful desktop Mac deserves a power button that doesn't require squirming a finger around under the front like you're tickling a youngin's chin. We don't really do that anymore. Even for grandmas, it's kind of like, all right. Don't worry, DIYers are designing 3D printed doohickeys to make hitting the button easier, while also completely negating Apple's more minimalist design choice. But we hid the button on the bottom to make it look clean. Well, now we're getting dirty.
My catchphrase in college.
OpenAI has launched ChatGPT Search, apparently choosing to integrate their previously announced SearchGPT prototype into their existing product, instead of making users keep track of a whole nother GPT. We've got enough GPTs already. They're scurrying around like rats who are great at lying. ChatGPT Search will give Plus and Team subscribers links to relevant web sources in addition to answering their questions, retaining contextual information as you continue chatting, or searching. I guess they're kind of the same thing now. Hey, that kind of sounds like AI search startup Perplexity, which just launched a Mac app to compete with the ChatGPT app. Anthropic also just dropped apps for its Claude chatbot on both Mac and Windows, although they're Electron-based, so they're basically web apps. Like this playable version of Minecraft that's generated entirely by AI instead of a traditional game engine. So it's actually not Minecraft. It's like having a fever dream in which you're playing Minecraft. Called Oasis, its creators describe it as the first playable real-time open-world AI model, made possible by running on ASIC cards from Etched that have the Transformer large language model architecture etched into their actual chips. It makes the AI game run fast, but seemingly doesn't fix the issue experienced by this Redditor, who spent a couple minutes building a house, only to have it vanish when they turned around. This kind of volatility is probably why Anthropic published an article urging governments to take action within the next 18 months to mitigate the serious risk posed by AI, because we cannot afford to make the housing crisis even worse.
You leave your house for 1 second and it's gone.
But here's something to make life even better. Our sponsor, Manscaped. The holidays are coming up, so their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is here to bring some ho-ho-ho to your no-no zone. It includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra for your shaded regions and the Weed Whacker 2.0 to tame overgrown ears and nostrils. And to add some thunder to your down under, use the included Crop Soother aftershave lotion and Crop Preserver deodorant. But wait! There's more! The kit includes the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag to contain your grooming tools and a pair of Boxers 2.0 to contain your power tool. Check out the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra at manscaped.com/techlinked and use code TechLinked for 20% off and free shipping. Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done yet? Time's a ticking. I already got you these quick bits. The gaming legend continues is the press release title AMD went with when confirming that the X3D chip launching next week is the Ryzen 7 9800 X3D. The company claims it averages 8% better gaming performance than the 7800 X3D. And they also claim it's 20% better at gaming than the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. But that's just typical cherry-picked data from AMD. They should have compared performance with something better, like Intel's last-gen chips. Team Red also confirmed that you can overclock the 9800 X3D, and that's pretty fire, according to the Twitter account for the Game Awards. My go-to account for stuff like that. Or maybe Jeff Keighley's thumb slipped, I don't know. Intel had a predictably brutal earnings call, though they chalked up most of their losses to write-offs and the cost of restructuring. On the call, Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger, who placed 4th in a recent Pat Gelsinger lookalike contest, said the on-package RAM design of their current Lunar Lake mobile chips was a one-off, a passing flirtation with integrated memory, if you will. In their upcoming Arrow Lake and Panther Lake chips, memory will be firmly off-package. Gelsinger also claims that there will be less need for discrete graphics in the market going forward, which does not bode well for the future of the company's discrete desktop gaming GPUs. But I think we were all mentally preparing for this already. Indonesia has banned the sale of Google phones within the country, just 1 week after also banning iPhone 16s. Apparently the company mandates that 40% of the effort or stuff that goes into a phone be produced locally. This can be met by manufacturing a percentage of parts locally, developing software locally, or even by setting up R&D centers in Indonesia. These banned phones can still be brought into the country, they just can't be sold. Visiting tourists, for example, may carry up to 2 iPhone 16s. That's pretty generous when you consider 0 phones are allowed entry into my grandma's dining room.
We're gonna have a real conversation. I worked hard on this meal.
Reddit has had a profitable financial quarter for the first time in its 2-decade history. Reddit made a net income of $30 million, as opposed to this time last year where the site made negative $7 million. You might reasonably guess that this change in fortune is due to Reddit's recent partnerships with Google and OpenAI, or the way that Google has placed Reddit at the top of nearly every search page. However, Reddit CEO Steve Huffman says it's mostly due to a new AI translation feature that has increased the site's popularity with non-English speakers. Okay, quick question for our multilingual viewers. How do they say BS where you're from? And Meta says it's developing robot hands and fingertips that can better physically feel by way of tactile sensors. This isn't meant to help build better prosthetics for human beings, though to be clear, Mark, an actual human being would have at least led with that possibility. Rather, it's meant to help scientists create AI models that better understand the physical world and can grasp fragile cylindrical objects without crushing them. Why did we say cylindrical? It kind of goes along with Meta's whole theme right now. Zuckerberg recently told Meta investors that they'd be developing a new category for their social platforms, which is nothing but AI-generated and AI-curated content.
But can you feel it?
No, it won't be good for the users. Why are you asking that? It's for the robots. The robots are gonna have a great time. But this show is for you. So why don't you come back on Monday for another episode of Tech News? It'll be curated and cured like a nice slice of meat. Only the choicest cuts here. Because prosciutto?
Gabagool.
Because you deserve it. And that's what Christmas is all about.
And happy Hanukkah.
The season has begun!